Hello and welcome everybody. Suicide Squad Killer Justice League spoilers ahead. Lock in right now. No warnings. We're going deep into it with Cloudy Chip, and we're going to be talking about the one and the only Wonder Woman and Superman. A lot of stuff has been said by Cloudy that I'm interested in. I wanted to have a video about so we can go deeper down the rabbit hole and discuss more. Super interesting plots with Wonder Woman, actually my favorite character. And then Superman had some special scenes, and Cloudy's going to give his impressions and go from there.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? So I don't know, man. I feel like Wonder Woman was very cold at the beginning when I first saw her like introduced. She was and she was really tall. I noticed that. I was like, oh wow, they actually made her like tall, I guess, to symbolize heroics, like being somebody who's heroic, right? But I felt like they did a really good job like telling her story, because she wanted to save the Justice League so bad, to the point that she was willing to even risk her own life and not breaking the code, which is not to kill, right? And she was trying to stay so true to that, to the point where she actually ends up dying in the hands of Superman, right? Because she didn't want to, hurt him. And at the end, she ends up stabbing him with a kryptonite, and he ends up not dying. He's hurt, but he ends up taking it like a champ and ends up taking out and basically burning Wonder Woman to death. Basically, is what happens. And throughout the whole time as a story, you can actually notice that she starts to soften up with the Justice League. At the beginning, she's kind of a hard ass, but she starts to soften up. And for me, I feel like that the fight between her and Superman was probably the best part of the whole game. It touched me on so many levels, man, and it was one of those things. It was like literally a tearjerker for me, and it was like one of those things, because the thing is if you notice at the beginning when her first interaction with the Suicide Squad is, everybody in the Suicide Squad was actually a fan of hers. Deathshot had like I bought a shirt from my daughter, and Harley Quinn's like, oh my god, you're my hero, and saying all this stuff, right? To the point where, as time goes on, they respected her more and more, and the thing is, they looked up to her. She was probably one of those icons, female icons, that almost the whole Justice Squad looked up to her, and especially Harley Quinn being a female. And then towards the end, when she's basically dying in the hands and battling it out and getting beat up by Superman, and really like looking like she has no more gas left in the tank, you can see the whole Suicide Squad stop and kind of like look at the whole situation and be like, oh my god, like what do we do? Like, how do we help? And they don't know. They're kind of helpless in their own way too, because you're looking at somebody who you expect to always save the day, right? Oh, you always look up to this person, and you felt like when you're in that point where even your hero's being destroyed, you crumble up and you don't even know what else to do with yourself. And that's kind of what you notice from the Suicide Squad, when they're like, you got Waller over here being selfish, saying forget about her, that should think about me. And it's like, dude, like, do you understand what's going on right now? And so they're watching in like disbelief and also heartbroken at the same time, especially Harley ended up like, I think that thing hit me like crazy, dude. I still talk about it now. I'm like, damn. But it's like you see your hero getting beat down and you don't even know what else to do. And then like towards the ending scenes, they even tell, like, she even says, oh, don't worry about it, sweetie, you're still beautiful as always, and like just rest, and like don't worry. And it's like basically her like calming her, and she honors her by putting her back inside the chambers of the Justice League with her shield and her sword and everything, and kind of like honoring her. And Harley does that. But that whole scene, that whole way that it happened, and the way that the Justice Squad kind of reacted to it was amazing.
It's called
And
Suicide Squad, not Justice Squad.
well, you
But
know what
yeah,
I mean. Suicide Squad, yeah. But yeah, so like I said, like that whole situation, just that whole plot, that whole cinematic scene, that whole thing that they displayed was actually amazing, man. And it's probably like, it's up there with a lot of top tier games, and that's in this right now is it's probably one of the top games for me right now
Got you. I think,
because
you
of
know,
that.
just to touch on Wonder Woman, stay on that topic. I think, first of all, I've never been a big fan. Since I was a kid, I didn't like Wonder Woman because my sisters always had me watch stuff with Wonder Woman, and they had Woman bread, and the toys that would come in there wouldn't be for me, it'll be for my sisters. So I kind of had a little bad negative thing when I was a kid. But in this game, she was my favorite character as far as the heroes go. Like, she was so special and she was so beautiful. I don't know what it was. I had like that little gaming crush on her. I was like, she's amazing. Just
Yeah.
visually the most beautifulest thing in the game. And then her whole storyline, her sacrifice to try to take down Superman. Who dares, right? And just her ending, everything, you know, just a powerful, endearing moment for me too. In a lot of levels, I really liked her, and we're literally watching the end of her getting crispy fried right now by Superman. And just to kind of touch on the story, as far as, like, for me, you know, it's called Kill the Justice League, so I expected this stuff to happen. It's just you don't want it to happen, and it does. It is what it is. And there's a big part of, like, the Suicide Squads who don't want this stuff to happen either, as you can see in this situation. And then you get to really feel for them. To me, this game, you know, I got a video that I made where I just sympathize with them in so many ways, everything that they were going through, and being the misfit, being the outcast, and then, you know, still feeling things, even though they're put out to be these maniac murdering, you know, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And so it's just a beautiful art in my point of view with that. So I absolutely loved it. And we're gonna stick to Wonder Woman. Do you have any last thoughts about her and
Yeah.
just some breakdowns on it?
Yeah, so if, like, example, so like you can tell, like, every Justice League member for the most part had, like, some type of, like, hatred or some type of, like, having to get revenge on most of the cast on the in the Justice League, right? So, like, Batman, Harley, right? And then you have Boomerang with Flash, and Deadshot with Green Lantern, right? And Superman, I guess everybody wanted him dead, but it's like because of what he did to Wonder Woman at the end. But if you notice, like, nobody in the Justice League had that same revengeful hatred towards Wonder Woman at all. If anything, they idolized her and they looked up to her. She was a hero to all of them. And, you know, and like, and if any superhero had to die, right? And people want to talk about Batman and be like, oh my God, I can't believe they killed off Batman. If anything, like, having Wonder Woman killed the way that it happened was more of like a no moment for me, right? It was more like, damn, I can't believe that just happened, right? And that one hit more than even the Batman thing. So it's like, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just feel like they did a really good job in portraying that whole sequence. Like I said, man, it's tough to feel helpless, right? And know that you got somebody that has all the power, has all the strength, has everything, and even they're struggling to take this thing down. And it's like this person down, right? Superman, and it's like, damn. So what are we gonna do? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
this. We looked up to this person. This person, in my head, I felt like this person can do it all. This person could protect and do everything and do it all. And now that this person is now down and out, it's like it makes me. It doesn't revive that faith in me to be like, damn, like, how do I go about doing that? It's like it takes everything out of you, and it's like, damn, I looked up to this person. This person, it was everything to me, and now look what happened. And and that's that same feeling. You can feel it towards even after the death, when they're sitting in the room, they're all looking at each other in disbelief. They're all sad. They're like, damn, like, what are we supposed to do? And then eventually Lex Luthor comes in and he's like, oh, I think I got something that we can probably
Right.
Get back.
That's deep. That's deep, man. Yo, thank you so much for your take. Listen, guys, we are doing deep dives into everything. Cloudy got some good stuff going on. It's I actually like his perspectives. I do have my breakdown on some of this. That's why I'm kind of keeping reserved. And I have a full series that I'm doing with this, and we have this series So go and watch the next episode to this series. It's going to be covering Superman and going down that rabbit hole. Hope y'all enjoy. See you on the next one.